While we're talking about artists you've ran in circles with, I've heard you recorded with A. John Mellencamp. What advice did you offer him about his name? And B. Frank Zappa. Again, I've heard you made a recommendation about his music that years later he would thank you for. Tell us what that was.
Well, where should we go first? Frank. Back when I was in the band, a lot of his stuff was a lot of humor, but sometimes it was cruel humor, and he exploited people in the audience, or like Louis the Turkey, because of the noise he made, or just different people he would. And I always felt like, oh God, how can he do that? I'd feel bad, although the people actually seemed to be enjoying being chosen. So, but I was young and sensitive, but the music soared when the band was set free and we jammed. It went to another level, and so I would say to Frank, you should do more music and less bullshit. And years later, out of the blue, long after I wasn't in the band, the phone rang, and it was Frank, and he just wanted to say to me, by the way, he asked me how I was doing. And he said, by the way, I just wanted you to know we're doing more music now, less bullshit. I believe that he really kept that in his heart all those years, and respected what I had to say.
Oh, that's neat.
I was just a kid.
How about John Mellencamp? What was?
Yeah, John Mellencamp. Well, he used to always call me for my advice, and he was always very respectful when he would play in L.A. He tracked me down because he knew me in the East when I lived in Philly, and I knew him when I'd done some backgrounds with him in New York, and I guess he got my number from my mother, and when I moved to California, he tracked me down to L.A. He would be coming out. He had new management, and he was going to play at the Whiskey. And he was opening to someone, and he wasn't really known, and so I would bring people out when he would play there to, boost his morale and have people cheering in the audience, and he was appreciative. He was always very respectful in how he introduced me to the people he was working with and his musicians. And once he called me and said they wanted to change his name, the new management wanted to change his name to Johnny Cougar. And what did I think? And I said, well, John Mellencamp is a really strong name. And if you do change your name to Johnny Cougar, you're only going to end up changing it back to John Mellencamp, which is exactly how it went. So, Johnny, you should know that I always steer you right.